every family deserves to have a winner, I think it should be you. But you also have to disconnect, unplug your umbilical cord from the belly button of average and plug yourself into the mindset of a winner.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
Never give up! Never in your life give up! Keep driving through the goddamn pain. Muscle through the pain. Muscle through the goddamn pain.
The winner does more than expected every single time, no matter how they feel, no matter the circumstances. A winner shows up 10x times more than the average person. A winner has these unreasonable expectations of himself. A winner knows that he's destined for greatness, and no matter how many people around him tell him to slow down, be careful, watch out, that's too risky, you don't have the genetics, the DNA, the money, the mind, the brain power for that. A winner locks onto their goals and keeps going.
We are in control of our momentum. If you are in a terrible place right now, if your life sucks right now, and you're waiting around for things to get better, that's not what you should be doing. That's not how it works. You need to take action. You need to control what you could control, which is your food, what you put in your mind, how you move your body, how much water you drink, who you associate with, the things that are in your control. You need to execute on those in a positive manner, and that's the key to avoiding these ups and downs. You have to continue to get better. You have to continue to come with urgency. You have to continue to control what it is that you can control, and you will avoid the dips.
You better go out there and do it yourself. You know, don't wait around and wait for someone to hand deliver something. Go make it happen. You know, the fish don't just jump in the boat. If you want to go catch them, go catch them. You know, throw that line in the water and go do some work. And if it doesn't work that day, do it again the next day.
Pain in your muscles and aching, and just think go on and go on and go on. And this last 2 or 3 or 4 repetitions, that's what makes actually the muscle then grow. And that divides then one from a champion and one from not being a champion. If you can go through this pain barrier, you make it to be a champion. If you can't go through, forget it. And that's where most people lack, is on this having the guts to go in and just say, I go through and I don't care what happens. You know, it aches, and if I fall down, I have no fear of fainting in the gym, because I know it could happen. I threw up many times while I was working out, but it doesn't matter, because it's all worth it.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
The ball's in your court. No more around. You want your life to be better? I can't help you. Lee can't help you. Joe Rogan can't help you. Ari can't help you. God can't help you. Only you can help you. Grab your balls, get a notebook, and write down what the you're gonna do this year. And this is it. You're not gonna have these problems. The drugs, the cigarettes, that dumb. It all starts today. All right. No more excuses. This is the year of the soldier.
Dedication, hard work, dedication, hard work. I'm a one-man army. The world can go against me. I'm still come on top. I got God on my side.
Effort is between you and you. Effort ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. So that team that think they're ready to see you, they think what they seen on film, they ain't saw what film shows. Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature now than I was 5 minutes ago. Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you okay with being mediocre. Ain't no man in here okay with being just basic. So let's do what we do.
Your tired body, that unmotivated mind, and get out there and do it anyway. You know, you better fight yourself, because you're not only winning when things are going your way. You got to figure out how to win when things aren't going your way. You got to figure out when your body's fighting you, when your mind's fighting you. How do you still, you know, just say, I'm gonna beat my mind today.
If tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you give for today? Forget everything else. Forget everything else. Forget that there was any sunlight left.
What would you spend today thinking about? Yourself or the man that's beside you? Or the man that you know you'll give everything in your heart for? We get one opportunity in life, one chance in life to do whatever you're gonna do, to lay your foundation, to make whatever mark you're gonna make, whatever legacy you're gonna leave your legacy. And it's found through effort.
When you tell yourself you're going to do all these things, I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to get my money right, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this, and you fail to do those things on a daily basis, you are losing confidence in yourself bit by bit by bit by bit. It's like a bank account. You are either putting a deposit in or you are making a withdrawal out. And every single time that you do not keep the promises that you make to yourself, you are making withdrawals, which means your confidence level will always be low. And you have to remember that confidence is built. It's about building an actual stack of evidence that says you are who you say you are. And when you can look at the stack of evidence and say, wait a minute, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and have a conscious reminder of who you are, you can X out all those feelings at any time you want.
I had to stop giving a about people. That was the biggest thing. I had to stop caring what people thought about me. I realized that everybody's up. That's the one thing I realized. I walked around and I put these people on a pedestal. Everybody was better than me. So I can't tell you anything about me because you're gonna judge me and I'm gonna feel even worse than what I am. What I realized, once I calmed my mind down and sat back and looked at how jacked up this world is, once you realize that you are not alone, everybody that's talking to you about how jacked up you are, only thing they've done better than you is they've hidden their world better than you have.
Man, I'm built different, period. I'm just built different, man. And I've always had an eye, a discipline and a work ethic that I've had at a young age that I just apply it to everything that I want to do. So I would say that, I rarely go out, reading, you know what I'm saying, trying to reverse engineer how to be successful. Like, how do I, start my own production company? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I always felt like if other cats was out partying and I was home studying, I would have an edge.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If cats was out here doing this and that, being hungover the night before, I would have an edge if I wasn't.
I was running by a graveyard. I was just trying to I was fat. And I ran by a graveyard and I looked out there and I have all these epiphanies, man. I have all these moments of it's crazy, man, of just thought. Cause I'm always by myself. I'm always in deep thought about how to be better. And I look out there, I'm like, man, I wonder how many of you mother in there just are so upset with how you lived your life. And just regret how you lived it. And I'm running a 300-pound man thinking, man, don't die like this, bro. Don't die like this.
You have to jump. There is no way around it. You have to jump. Every successful person has jumped. You got to jump. You got to take a leap of faith. You got to dash off that cliff and you got to jump out there as far as you can.
I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
A lot of people are unclear what they want from life. They don't sit down and think through. We are writing our own life story every day, and yet we don't think about it. Who do we want to be? Where do we want to live? What life do we want to lead? When we've finished our life, come to the end of our life and look back, what do we want to say that we've done? So, what do you want is a very powerful question.
No matter how much emotion and feeling you may have or how much hurt you may have, life has to go on. Life doesn't stop for anybody. So if you don't process that and understand that, you're stuck in whatever time period you got hurt forever.
When I was in Ranger school, my squad got spot checked. The Ranger instructor was looking for 3 items. One of my guys didn't have the items, so the whole squad got smoked. The RI was sitting there smoking us, and the more he smoked us, the more my squad looked around looking for someone to motivate him. The Ranger instructor shouted out, "I'm gonna bury you." So I saw that my squad needed some extra motivation. So I said, ain't no grave that can hold us down. Ain't no grave that can hold us down. Right now in life, your family's looking for that one guy right now. They're looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around and find you. These are the times right now for you to step up. Be that guy that can take anything. Stay hard.
You and I are capable of doing whatever we can see. If we can hold it in our head, we can hold it in our hand. We've got to step out and do different. We've got to quit playing like this is a game. We've got to treat life like what it is. It's sacred. Yet we're capable of doing anything we want. But we've got to do it. It ain't going to happen for us.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And if you guys can understand that, then what you'll see happen is that you won't accomplish your dreams. Your dreams won't come true. Something greater will.
There isn't any past, there isn't any future. Now's it. It's it. When the sand's gone, it's gone. Now you see there's more sand in the bottom of the glass than there is in the top. Here, boom, I can turn it over. Now I got more sand in the top than the bottom. You can't do that with your life. I can do it with a sand timer, but I can't do it with my life. But I can be more effective now by making up my mind I'm going to be. And that's what I recommend you do. Don't waste your time. Do you know that everybody alive gets exactly the same amount of time we get all there is? It's what we do with it that makes a difference. Don't waste your life. Set your goals high. Quit thinking about what's wrong. Start thinking what's right. Love a little more, hate a little less. You have no idea what you're capable of doing. Make up your mind today, you're going to figure it out.
What happens is that it's failure to act often that's the most catastrophic. You know, I mean, it's to not do the right thing when the situation presents itself, and it's very specific. You know, you're constantly in situations where you could do the right thing if you were willing to take a risk that's actually of relatively moderate size. And you know that you could take the risk, and you know that you should take the risk, and you don't. And that happens to people all the time. And then what happens is the thing that they didn't oppose grows a little bit, and they shrink a little bit. And that starts a loop, hey? And you say, well, how do you take responsibility for the world? And the answer is, well, you also have to do it with a certain degree of humility, because what do you know?
Turn your feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that alarm clock goes off, your feelings got to go away. It's raining outside, it's cold outside, when you don't want to put those long hours in at work, that's what I'm talking about. Your feelings must go away. When you know everybody's gone home to their families, but you want to be the top salesperson in the world, or you want to be the best lawyer in the world, whatever it is, when everybody leaves to go home and there's only one light on in a building, a 15-story building, and only one office. Every office is dark. There's one office with one light on, and as those go from the club, they look up every day, 2 o'clock in the morning, they see that, and that light's always on. That's the right there you gotta be.
Empty the cup and start from the beginning. It's not easy to do, but at the moment it's the only way that I see how something that is blocked can be brought back to movement. You must spill the old tea and pour in new one. Then things look different.
Committed to your dream. Yes, committed to your dream. Anybody can dream it, but you'll never see it until you're willing to be committed to it.
There's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him. And that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever. That guy was you that said that. And it's important when we step out of this. Like, this stuff matters because no one's effing coming to save you. No one's going to make you better at your business. No one is going to get you to be a better persuader of people or framer of people other than you. And I just feel like that's one of the more profound philosophical comments. There's a lot of grown men and women that are still boys and girls because they think someone else is coming to change their life. You say otherwise. What would you say to someone who's still living in that delusion?
Wake up.
The difference between professionals and amateurs. I ask that question all the time. People say, professionals get paid, this and that. And no, man, some professionals don't get paid, man. I mean, the real difference is that professionals have standards. All right? You have to have a standard to measure your actions against in order to ever grow, or in order to know where you're at, whether you're making progress or whether you're digressing in life, right? So you should have standards in everything. If you like to shoot, you should have shooting standards. If you like to lift weights, you should have standards in terms of all your major lifts. If you like to run, you should have running standards. Every aspect of your life, right? But you should also have an overarching standard that guides your very being from day to day, the decisions that you have to make, the way you're reacting to situations in your life. You have to have a standard there too.
And so the first, I mean, I've said this before, but the first two words of getting out of poverty are my fault. And the thing is it doesn't actually matter if it is your fault, but it is your problem. And so you have to solve it because no one else will. And so that allows you to actually do something about it. And so that's been, I'm a big believer in operationalizing and only thinking about things through actions rather than feelings, because the feelings come and go, and also they are justified or unjustified. It also is irrelevant, because like if you make 100 cold calls, whether you hate it or you love it or you're meant for it or you never want to do it for the rest of your life, you make the calls and you practice the script, you'll get business. Mm-hmm. And you can also get business and make money even if you don't deserve it, which for me was actually a really comforting point, because there was definitely moments in my life where I had tons of self-loathing, didn't think I deserved anything, blah, blah, blah. But the idea that I could still have it anyways and not deserve it if I only did the things that got it was like, it was kind of like in the weightlifting world, that the iron is the iron. Whether you're black, you're white, you're a woman, 500 pounds is 500 pounds. And so like the actions that create success are kind of the same way.
Whenever I'm down, I'm like, oh, hang on. Oh, you know the truth. You know the truth. You know the darkness of the dungeons and the demons that fly. You know, and then from there, it's like, okay, you were there. You know this. There was no one there to pick up the rucksack, to pick up the boat, to pick up the log, to go in there. It was you. It was you. There was no pat in the back at 300, at 275, at 250, at 220. No, that was you. So those things that come out of me, that extract from me in the darkness, people are looking for that pat on the back. Where is it? Oh, I don't need it. Because what I've done is in the unseen work, I built Frankenstein. So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, you had nobody anyway. So see how I'm talking myself right now? That's me. That shit fires me the f up. That makes me nuts. You had nobody anyway. Look around you.
But it's like, oh, do you want to do this or not? Which is what I think a lot of it boils down to. Do you actually want to do this or not? Do you actually want to do this or not? Because if you actually want to do it, what's going to stop you? Nothing. And if you don't really want to do it, what's going to stop you? Just about anything that comes up. Just about any obstacle that gets in your way becomes an excuse. It becomes a reason. It becomes a rationale for not proceeding down that path. And this is interesting too. When you talk to people that went to SEAL training that didn't make it, most of the time it's some reason. There's a medical reason. There's a family problem. There's very few people that look at you and say, oh, I quit because it sucked. Which is what, by the way, happens to the vast majority of people. The vast majority of people that don't make it through SEAL training, and by this I mean 80, 90% of the people that don't make it through SEAL training, they didn't make it through because they quit.
But if you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something. I'll repeat that. If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself. A lot of days I'm like, oh, you can't do this, Tom. You can't be as quick as a 30-year-old on the computer. Let me show you. I mean, I would have arguments with myself. I could do it. People doubted me. I doubted myself sometimes too.
So the big thing is know that if you have big goals and big dreams, along the way, failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that? You got to teach yourself that. But the biggest key to success in anything you do is you got to have an unlimited supply of you. This drive and passion, and it may come from nothing. Like for me, there was no passion, no drive, no nothing. But I had this fire that I'm going to be somebody. And it has to be there because on all those bad days and all those days you don't want to do, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything.